Hello, I'm Diane. Welcome to my channel, Diane in Stitches. This channel's all about sewing, so you'll see makes, plans, new fabrics, new patterns, and hopefully some hints and tips and useful information that you'll pick up along the way. So hopefully you'll enjoy today's roundup of things that's happened this week. I am a little bit late. Sunday morning, haven't had a chance this week. We've been here, there and everywhere again, hospital appointments, doctor's appointments. We're falling apart, but it's nothing too drastic, hopefully. Anyway, today I'm wearing a favourite, a regular. It's the Love Notions La Belladonna short version with the band across the bottom. I have made two tunic lengths, but they're long sleeve, more autumn winter wear. So that's what I'm wearing. So this week I've managed to finish off my yellow top in the Ankara African fabric that I showed you, the yellow. I think you can just see a little snippet of it here. I'll bring that through in a minute. So this was this Simplicity 8891. And I just did the top version here. I did do the belt. I wasn't going to bother, but I decided I would do it. Just did a straight size 12. The pattern was fairly straightforward, and the fabric's lovely to sew. It's just 100% cotton. You can see the line drawings, the shaping on the waist. They're not darts. They're called tucks. So there's basically just straight lines. So they're not shaped like a dart, but it makes a fullness above and below. So it just adds the shaping around the waist. So the pattern itself was okay. There was a couple of little issues I had. The finished lengths on the back of the pattern, it gives the finished garment measurements. I should have actually, I think, by my bust measurement done a 14, but as I say, I did do a 12 because the finished measurements were I considered quite ample, and I'm quite pleased with doing the 12 because I think the 14 would have been a bit large. But the only issue was that they've given finished lengths for these items, the dresses. So they've given the finished length for that one and missed out the top length. So I just did a rough measurement on the table and decided not to make any adjustments to the length. And I think it's turned out okay. So the only other thing was with the pattern, nothing else with the pattern other than there was a little mistake on the turning the hems. Hem depth. Now I'd seen on the bottom of the pattern piece, and I'd transferred it when I traced it, that the hem is 3.2 centimeters or 1¼ inches. Now on the version C, which is what I did, it says here, turning the facing to the outside. It's a nicely finished hem. I'll show you in a minute. Stitch across 1¼ inches, brackets 3.2 centimeters. And then it says to turn facing to the inside, and then it says press under 1/4 inch, brackets 3.2 centimeters. But as I mentioned, 3.2 centimeters is 1¼ so they'd got 1/4 inch. I don't know if you can read that there, the bottom bit. They said 1/4 inch, 3.2 centimeters. 1/4 inch is actually 6 millimeters. So that was a good job. I had my wits about me to spot that, and I thought, no, I shouldn't be turning that up that much. So that was just one little error, but overall it came together okay. So I'll put some pictures up and a little bit of a video. So as I say, the fabric was nice to sew. I did actually have a little bit of an accident. It must have happened when I was cutting something out. I don't know. I must have nicked it with my rotary cutter. But you can actually hardly see it. And I've just put some double-sided. I think it's something I had quite a while ago. It's not just a mending tape. I think it's for doing applique, and it presses in on both. It irons on both sides. So I've sandwiched it. It's just inside the facing. So I'll just bring this over. But as I say, I'll put some images up anyway. So, in fact, it's probably better if I take it off the mannequin. So I've done the belt, just slip stitched. I did turn that through and then slip stitched the gap closed. Just take this under the button. So this is it. I didn't know what colour buttons to use, but I've gone for this sort of dark red to match that little red. It's like a sashiko effect stitching across the middle of the that swirly pattern, and I think I've done a pretty neat job of the pattern. Not too bad on the pattern matching. There was one alteration I made actually. The back was supposed to be cut with a seam down the back, but it was a dead straight seam, and I thought, well, the shaping is with these tucks, so I just cut the back on the fold so as not to have to mess about pattern matching and fiddling with an extra seam. So so that's okay. And there's a cuff on the end. I've just slip stitched the seams together so they don't flap, and slip stitched. There's an inside facing that goes all the way down the front, and you can just see the little effect with the tucks on the front. And they sort of, I was going to lengthen it a bit, but they have landed in a decent place on the waist, and then the belt brings them in nicely. So that's that one finished. I'll just leave that there for now. Was there something else? I think there was, oh yes, there was 5 buttons. It mentioned 5 buttons, and the button holes were going, I know they're supposed to go horizontal. Just when you're pulling up a garment this way, the button holes should go horizontal, but I actually, all the shirts I've made, I've done them vertical. So I just did them same on that. I just did vertical buttons, and I put 6 on because I thought that looked a little bit better than just 5. So yeah, so that's that one done. So if I just show you, this is where I did my little, in fact, it's difficult finding it now. So I mean, I don't think anybody's going to see it. There's a little split there. I can just get it in focus, just here. So I've just put some of this tape behind it, so it's actually holding the facing down, because as I say, it's sticky on both sides. So the inside, yeah, the hem's lovely. That was turned under twice, and then it comes out from behind the facing there. And I did the buttonholes in a yellow, but I decided on the red for the buttons. I did the other button I was going to do was a yellow. It was the only yellow. All the other yellows in boys were very pale yellow. And this is quite a rich yellow colour, but it's sort of like a flower shaped. But I thought the red looked a lot better, so I've left it with the red on. So yeah, so that's. The other thing I did, I said I did a 12, but when I was actually pinning it together, I thought, oh, have I done the right thing here? I wasn't sure whether it was going to go a bit small. So what I've actually done is the tucks inside, it's still got, I did mark them with a carbon paper and a tracing wheel. But what I did when I took the tucks in, I actually didn't sew them along that line. I did slightly less width of the tucks from where I'd marked. Not very much. So, but there's 8 tucks altogether, 2 in each front and 4 at the back. So that made it slightly smaller. And I also tapered down the side seam instead of 1.5 inch seam. Sorry, 1.5 centimetre seam allowance. Once I'd done the underarm and came down the side, I've tapered out to 1 centimetre. But it's fine. I think actually I would have probably been okay, but that's all. It's done now. So, and it fits all right, as you'll see. Oops. As you'll see with the pictures. So that's that done. So that's that. So the other thing I mentioned was that I'd ordered some Ankara fabrics from someone on Instagram who was doing a destash. They arrived Monday, I think it was. So they didn't take long to arrive. So they've been washed. I did get them washed, and I thought they might have already been washed, but I did them again anyway. So this is the first one. This is a bit of a swirly psychedelic pattern. This is the one that Keith wanted. So I reckon, so that's going to be another one of his shirts, presumably. They're very good quality. They're lovely thick quality. This other one, this was one that was similar to this, to the yellow one, but it is a slightly different pattern in that the background's broken up and there isn't the like the stitching. I think these are a little bit thicker and there isn't the stitching effect like on this one, like the sashiko stitches. But it's in effect the same design. So I quite liked that one. And then I think this one is my favourite. I was thinking the sewing therapy tie dress, but I don't think it's wide enough. I won't have enough fabric. But this has sort of got a little. I thought they were like little letters or Roman numerals or code signs, but that's just got a stripe effect going down the length of the fabric in these various purples, reds and whites. So I quite liked that. So that's all those fabrics that's got to get plans for them. So I think my next plan, I have decided that I'm going to go with the jean. I'm going to do jeans. So I've got this. I bought this a while ago from a shop near Chesterfield. It was only cheap. And I'm going to go rogue, and I'm not going to do a muslin because it's stretch. It is a stretch denim, and this dark indigo. That's all being washed anyway, so I just need to press that. And I shall be doing on this one. This is the Megan Nielsen Ash jeans. It comes in various leg widths. There's a skinny, slim leg, skinny jean, a flared, and a wide leg. I think I'm going to do the wide leg. I don't know whether I'll do the flared or the skinny. Straight leg, I'm not sure. But I'm going to do, I think on these ones, I'm going to do the wide leg. I'll see how it is anyway. I don't know whether I'll bring it in a little bit or whatever. But there we go. So that's going to be the next project. So I think I'll be all right with the sizing. As I say, I'm not going to do a muslin because I haven't got anything similar to try. I did this once before, and I made some up in an old sheet, and it was supposed to be a stretch denim, and of course it didn't come out, and I don't think it would have fitted anyway. I think the sizing was totally wrong. I think it was the legato jeans, Love Notions. But anyway, I'll try these ones. So I'll need to get that ironed and then well, I need to trace the pattern off on that one, so that's a long job because I need to do all that. So I think that's all I've got this week, really, because as I say, we've been busy this week. We visited friends yesterday in Lincoln, stayed there for the day, so we had a good chat. Friend also sews, so we were talking sewing most of the day. We've had hospital appointments, as I say, but I had to go for a mammogram on Friday. That was not very pleasant, but at least that's over with now for another 3 years, unless there's a problem, of course. But anyway, we're all just up to date now, I think, and that's all. I'm not a lot else to tell you this week, really. So with that, I'll sign off for now and wish you all, well, happy week. Have a good week, everybody. I hope you all get some lovely sewing done. Thanks again for watching. I hope you've liked today's short and sweet video. If you have enjoyed it, do give me a thumbs up and leave a comment and let me know what you think of the shirt and my new fabrics. And if you haven't yet subscribed, it would be lovely if you could. It does help the channel to grow and reach other people looking for sewing content. So I'll say goodbye for now, and I hope to see you again in the next video. So bye for now.